So, we currently have 8 snipers in Brawl Stars, and in this video I will master all of them. Starting off with me. This push starts here, 1002 trophies and 11,000 free mastery points. I decided to play with randoms on reflections, and it was going well. In the first game I was destroying the enemy team fairly easily, but I was very lucky with the matchup. They couldn't really do anything no matter what they did. We obviously won, and in the next game I had a harder matchup, but it still wasn't a problem. Milo was really good and we won again. Game later I had a questionable team again, but the enemies were somehow even worse. The last seconds of the game were really close, but I was able to get a clean team wipe which secured this win and 1020 free caps. I honestly thought I could go for rank 31, but after losing to Jamie Pro 2013 I knew it was over. From this point I couldn't win games and dropped below 1k trophies. I then realized that playing on this trophy range is a waste of time, so I decided to tilt my trophies. It is much needed if you want to complete your mastery as fast as possible. After dropping to 678 caps I went for a game mode switch to knockout. The map was out in the open. Honestly, it's not the best decision because B isn't that good here. She gets outclassed by any other sharpshooter and my only hope was getting a good matchup. It was still going pretty well because I was at lower trophies and was able to carry most of the games. Sometimes it wasn't really possible, but I was able to gain mastery points somewhat fast. The most important thing is to win games consistently, and I was able to do that with some nice win streaks. I managed to climb up to 856 trophies with randoms and 15,001 mastery points, which ended this day. The next day I started by changing game mode to Wipeout on Infinite Doom, and it was rough. In the first 4 games, I only managed to win 1, which wasn't a good sign. The main problem was that me and my mates had no good synergies. With B, I ideally would have a wall breaker on my team, but I was ending up with assassins, which need all the bushes. But that didn't stop me from making progress, and when I was getting good mates, I just pressed play again and hoped for the best. But the problem was that games in this mode take so long, and I really wanted to be as efficient as possible, so I decided to tilt my trophies again. That made my games a lot easier, and I went on a very big win streak. And because of that, I hit God to Mastery on just 674 trophies. After hitting 18k mastery points, I only had 767 caps. That made me change the game mode again to Brawl Ball, this time on Super Beach. I didn't have many expectations for this map, but it turned out to be insanely fun to play. I wish I changed to Brawl Ball earlier on. Even though there are a lot of walls, they ended up getting broken in most of the games. If the game was against throwers or tanks, it was a cyberbullying session. All I had to do was just aim at people who couldn't do anything about it, and I had a lot of fun by doing so. Because of that, getting star player was insanely easy, and the points you get per game were very respectable. I was streaming just above 800 trophies all this time, and in this way I was able to hit the mastery cap at 21,001 mastery points. I started off day 3 on Brawl Ball. The map changed to Backyard Ball. It was probably an even better map compared to the previous one. I didn't need to wait for walls to be opened up to pop off. I was farming star players non-stop and winning games wasn't hard. I hit 22k mastery points pretty fast, and that was on 882 trophies, so I decided to tilt again. I stopped at 699 caps and games were insanely easy. People on this range tend to play tanks, and as we all know, B just destroys them. What's even better is that matches were pretty fast because people play so aggressive. I was somehow able to get 900 caps while being really close to gold 3. From this point I didn't lose a single game and got 1 game away from mastering B. It was against Leon, Fang and Meg. It started off really fast. We managed to push them back and got a goal in 15 seconds. After that my Mortis just died, but I got the Meg out of the mecha and Frank got a double stun. My Mortis went for the ball, so in this scenario it's harder to not score, but it's a random, so you just have to expect it. But he was able to redeem himself after this really clean play. That finished this push, so now let's move on to the next brawler, which is RT. This push starts here, 970 trophies and 12,917 mastery points. I started this off on knockout and the map was Belle's Rock. First game of this push was not that good. We got absolutely destroyed, but after I started playing better, I was able to actually win some games. I was still mostly losing, and after hitting 13k mastery, I realized that I can make this push a lot easier, so I decided to tilt my trophies. I stopped dropping at 749 caps, and from here I went back to knockout. Games were now significantly easier. After a while I managed to get back to 900 caps, and not long after that I hit the mastery cap at just 15,055 points. Day 2 was also pretty successful, but there is a slight problem. My recording glitched and I have pretty much no footage for this segment. But I managed to hit gold 2 and the mastery cap as well, but my trophies significantly dropped. That was because there was no good map on this day and I played hot zone where RT isn't the best. But luckily on day 3 everything was working fine and I started playing playing on the same map as on day 2, dueling beetles. Nothing interesting happened here, so after getting to 23k I decided to tilt my trophies again, this time to 554 trophies, and I started playing on Between the Rivers. Games were obviously pretty easy, but I didn't play here for long, because the map swapped to Deep End. RT isn't the strongest pick on this map, but on the trophies I was on, it was enough to carry. During this push I also found these two guys, Swezi and Ruko Bay. We were pretty much speedrunning games and I made a lot of progress with them. We climbed up to 24k mastery together, but not long after that they both left me. And after another few games I managed to be one game away from gold 3 mastery. It was against Byron, Gas and Piper. We had a terrible start. My Piper died, and after that Nani, leaving me in a 1v3, which I obviously couldn't win. In the second round my Piper died first again, but my Nani managed to get a kill, and after that one more. We were then in a 2v1, but Nani decided to do this, leaving me in a 1v1. I was able to win it, but it was kinda close. In the third round my Nani got an early kill again, so we needed to not throw. Then we got control over mid, and Piper finally did something apart from dying. Only Gas was left, and he had no chance to win this, and that's how I mastered RT. So now let's move on to the next brawler, which is Brawl. This push starts here, 999 trophies and 9406 mastery points. I started playing on New Horizons and it wasn't going that bad. First game was a loss, but after that I got into a win-loss cycle, which isn't bad for mastery. Every game looked pretty similar. I would use my gadget to open up both of the walls and hope my teammates don't die first. After playing for a while I got to gold 1 mastery and I stopped playing for the day. Day 2 started off with a game mode swap to heist, and this was a very good change. Games are insanely quick, so even if you lose it doesn't take a lot of time. Also, the meta here is pretty boring, but that meant that it was easier to get carried. Every single game had a chuck in it, and this brawler just owns this mode. But it's not like I was useless. Brock can deal a lot of damage on the save, and with the more rocket star power, you can deal about 20% of the save. To do that, you need to aim your super slightly below the save, and most of the rockets will hit. Also, a tip for this guy: to hit a Khaled super, you need to aim it on the save, not on the wall. Anyways, I was flying through mastery when I ended the day on 16,307 mastery points. Day 3 started off with a game mode swap to knockout, this time on out in the open. Brock is pretty good here because he can open up this wall. This makes the map a lot more playable and makes this bush less dangerous. After this, I always went for this bush break so that enemies can't walk there unnoticed. And last gadget was used on this wall. This isn't that important, but I like to do it. Anyways, this map turned out to be really good. Games were easy to carry and I was able to make a lot of progress, so I hit gold 2 pretty fast. After a while, I realized that the games here aren't that quick, so I went back to heist. I played here for hours, and just before hitting 22k mastery, heist was replaced by knockout. The map was Twilight Passage. I had low expectations for this map, but it wasn't that bad. I used my gadgets to open up the grass, and after a super or two, it was a pretty open map. Winning here wasn't that hard, and I was able to get a lot of star players. But I didn't play here for long because I reached the mastery cap at 22,307 points. And now for the last day, maps changed again, so I had to play on Between the Rivers. I was just opening up walls in the middle, and the map was pretty much long range. Also, this helped me to carry a lot of games with some insane stats. But what I also learned is that some people shouldn't play Piper. Just look at this. How is that actually possible? He missed 7 shots in a row from this close. You can't make this up. Also, there are other Pipers who think they are assassins. But after a while, I got one game away from gold 3 Brock. It was against Piper, Grom and Frank. We had a great start. We pushed the enemy team very far back and Pearl got a double kill. After that, Frank also died. Second round was a bit slower. Enemies didn't let us run through them, but that was until their Frank started playing aggressive and he was on a surge lane, so it didn't work. Then we pushed the remaining people into corners, so we got the Grom and quickly after Piper, which got me to gold 3 mastery. So now let's move on to the 4th brawler I will master, Nani. This push starts here, 999 trophies and 17,278 mastery points. It was a very short day. I have played on Dragon Joe's and it wasn't a good Nani map. It just has way too many walls and I was struggling. Luckily, I was able to win a few games and I hit the cap at 17,830 mastery points, as most of them were used on Brock. On day 2, the maps were still bad, so I decided to tilt my trophies. I dropped all the way to 502 caps and then I started playing Brawl. The map was Offside Trap. This didn't go that well. It's probably because Nani isn't that good here. She's just not built for Brawl anymore, so after a few games I switched the mode again, this time to heist. This also wasn't a good change. To play Nani on this map, you need something to break open the walls, and because I was playing with randoms, I couldn't expect that to happen. Most of the time I was getting throwers, so we had no synergy. And after hitting 19k mastery, I went for yet another game mode swap to knockout on a flaring Phoenix. I didn't expect it to go well, but I was surprised. Even though throwers are really strong here and lanes are rather close range, I made Nani work and wins were flying in. I was able to get some win streaks going, but not everything was that fine. After losing a game, I got a very interesting message from someone. You wouldn't believe what actually happened. We were sitting in this bush next to Ruffs and he decided to use this spray. If you know me, you know what I needed to do. But he wasn't happy. He was still using the spray and my teammate was a real one, so he did what I also did. And after that, this Ruffs decided to throw the game. It's kinda crazy. In the second round, he did the same, but I managed to win the 1v3. In the end, it didn't matter. He threw the third game and this time I couldn't clutch up. Amazing experience. Anyways, after playing for a few more hours, I got to 23k points and I stopped playing for the day. And on day 3, I was finally blessed with a perfect map, Slayer's Paradise. This was insanely fun to play. Being finally able to take advantage of my range was very refreshing and I made progress very fast. In pretty much no time, I found myself one game away from Gold 3 Mastery. It was against Leon, Meg and Piper. It didn't start well. My Piper got into Meg's range, so she just died, but we got a kill quickly after. Then I used my super and caught the Meg. From this point, we had a nice lead, so we were sitting back and picking up the kills. We found ourselves only 2 kills away from winning and I killed Piper with my head, and after that I hit a clean shot on the Meg, which meant I mastered Nani. So now let's move on to the next brawler, which is Mandy. This push starts here, 752 trophies and 2613 mastery points. Respectfully, I am not going to master her at power 1, so I instantly started upgrading her. What's kinda crazy is that what you are seeing on your screen right now is 1 month of free-to-play progression. Anyways, I went with this build and started playing on the same map again. This was my first time playing Mandy at power level higher than 1, so I was still learning how she works. Standing still mechanic felt kinda wacky to play with, but I was getting used to it. Also, I noticed that her slow gadget pairs really well with her super. It's basically a guaranteed hit. I still lost the first game and also the next one, but after that I was starting to win a lot of games. That was also because I was getting better mates than this. Anyways, I managed to get to rank 28 with randoms and also got to silver 3 mastery relatively easy. After another few hours of gameplay, I hit the mastery cap at 6850 points. Day 2 started off with a game mode switch to knockout on Goldarm Gulch. It wasn't looking good at first. I lost 3 games in a row, but after that I found myself a team. We were winning every game and I also had some crazy plays along the way, like this 1v3.
For you with a map and I'll show I am the one that you lack. And I'm taking the way that you act to you. I just wanna say.
Anyways, we got to rank 29 with a 9-game win streak, and after a few more wins, we were 1 game away from rank 30. It was against Jean, Lily and Rico. We had a bad start. My Rico died first. After that, my Meg somehow got a very clean double kill, but she died leaving me in a 1v1. We were both missing like crazy, but I hit a gadget, so I won it, but it was close. In the second round, my Rico died first again, and my Meg lost the mecha, so I thought it was over. But I had my super, and I got a double hit, and then the Rico, so from this point we just needed to not throw. We were together waiting for Lily, and I hit her with my gadget, so it was enough to win this game, and secured the rank 30. After that, my team left, so I decided to tilt my trophies. I dropped to 589 caps and started pushing back up from here. I had some nice win streaks going, and I reached gold 1 pretty fast. I also managed to get back to 955 trophies with randoms, which was pretty good. Anyways, I reached the mastery cap and ended this day on 12,850 trophies. On day 3, the knockout map changed to hard lane, and because there was no better map to play, I decided to go for it. Surprisingly, it wasn't that bad. The map may be terrible, but it's extremely easy to hit a super with Mandy. Sometimes there were team wipes, which were very satisfying. The only problem was the amount of strategies that can counter this. Some people played kit and tanks, so my super does nothing into them. Sometimes there were also throwers, and with no counter, it wasn't winnable. Also, because of that, winning consistently was really hard, and I had a few tilts during this push. But I managed to hit gold 2, and after that I played in a team to see if it even makes a difference. And with no surprises, it was easier. I even managed to get back to rank 30 and peaked at 1018 trophies. Anyways, we still kept on playing till I hit the mastery cap at 18,850 points. Day 4 started off with a map change to island hopping. I honestly thought this map would be bad, but it was extremely fun. Hitting Mandy supers was pretty easy because there isn't much space to dodge it. Also, to be fair, I was getting carried a lot of the time by Angelo's because he's just broken here. If you have the speed star power, you can't get hit. And after playing for hours, I got to 1 game away from gold 3. It was against Mr. P, Eve and Angelo. It didn't start well. I got pushed by 3 people and my team didn't feel like helping me, so we lost this round. In the second round, my kid got the first kill and then another one, but unfortunately died. We were in a 2v1, but my Angelo didn't feel like healing up and got 1 clipped. I was now in a 1v1, and after this very weird encounter, I managed to somehow win it. In the third round, my kid traded very early on and I killed their Angelo, so we were in a 2v1 again. This time, my Angelo didn't throw and we won, which meant I got gold 3 Mandy. So now let's move on to the third last brawler, which is Belle. This push starts here, 701 trophies and 2710 mastery points. This time I decided to suffer and try to get a power 4 rank 25 with randoms, but this was a terrible decision. I decided to play on open space and it wasn't that bad in the beginning. beginning. I was winning and losing games non-stop, but I wasn't tilting that much, but that came to an end pretty fast because my teammates had creative ideas like these. I couldn't stop losing, so I decided to switch the game mode to Wipeout, and this didn't change anything. I was getting one-shot constantly, and winning was even harder than in Gem Grab. I don't think there would be a difference if I was power 1, which was kinda sad. Then I tried Knockout, but after just one loss I knew it wasn't meant to be. So I went back to Gem Grab, and I managed to hit Silver 2 at just 630 trophies, so you can tell I was struggling. And after dropping to 610 trophies, my mental was gone, and I just decided to upgrade her to not lose my mind. Also, maybe you noticed that I was 1 power point away from upgrading her. This was because it was possible when original boxes were in the game, so it was kinda rare to have something like this left since they were removed 1.5 years ago. Anyways, this is the build I went with and hopped back on Gem Grab, and this went much easier. Playing Belle was actually pretty fun when not being 7 levels below my enemies. I was also duo queuing and we were winning every single game. We got back to 700 with a 9-game win streak and rank 25 with a 13-win streak, but we didn't stop here. We got rank 27 without losing once. Win streak came to an end in the next game, but after that we were back to building it up. We were back to winning every game and got to Silver 3 Mastery, and 3 games later to rank 28. From this point I was getting wins consistently and I hit the Mastery cap at 7,730 points and 902 trophies. Day 2 started off with a map swap to Rustic Arcade, and this was going extremely well. I was playing with randoms and games weren't that hard. I went on a 4-game win streak and was 1 game away from rank 29, which was a bit harder, but my Charlie clutched up and I got to 950 trophies. I played there for a bit more, and during this time I had a guy that was doing a weird glitch. It looked kinda funny, but you could still get shot, so pretty useless. Also, I hit gold 1, but I was losing a lot more, so I decided to change the mode to Knockout. The map was out in the open. This felt like a really good change, maybe because I also had a team. We were winning games and managed to be 1 game away from rank 30. But this is when it all went wrong. We lost not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 games in a row, which set us back 40 trophies. After that, they all left me and I just couldn't get my trophies back with randoms. In fact, I lost even more, and after hitting the Mastery cap, I was at just 856 trophies. On day 3, my main goal was to get my rank 30, so I grinded with a team. We were playing on Hot Zone and it went really well. I got back to 950 trophies with an 8-game win streak. After a while, I was finally 1 game away from rank 30 again. It was against Bo, Tick and Meg, so basically it was a 3v2. We didn't have a good start. The enemies held control for a while, but after losing it, we were dominating. I was hitting some very clean shots, my Fang was making plays, and the enemies weren't the best, so we won the game fairly easily, giving me rank 30. After that, I decided to tilt and I stopped at 940 trophies. Then we were kinda stuck in the same range, so we changed the mode yet again, this time to Knockout. We played the most disgusting combo this game has ever seen, and wins were flying in. The strat was very simple. I kept the enemy team back while my kid charged his super, and then they ran through the other team while using minimum brain cells. The strat was so dumb, we got back up to 1k trophies with pretty much no losses. At this point I was getting close to Mastery cap, so I just played with randoms on Hot Zone till I hit it at 19,730 points. Day 4 started off by playing on Belle's Rock. This name should suggest that Belle would be good here, and while yes, it's true, the thing is there are now many better brawlers. For example, there was a team that would use Kid Gadgets, super me, and then Lily would appear, which was extremely annoying. Apart from that, the map was pretty fun to play and I wanted to get the Mastery here, but it changed just after I got to 21k Mastery points. Then I found myself a team and we played Brawl, which was really successful. The map maybe isn't the best for Belle, but it can easily be decent if you open up all the walls. We were winning game after game and we had some decent win streaks going. I even managed to get to 983 trophies, but that's when my team had to go, so I went back to tilting my Belle. I stopped at 776 trophies and went back to Knockout on a map I have played a lot in this video, Between the Rivers. Even though I was playing with randoms, I was winning every single game. I don't know how that happened, but I went on an 11-game win streak and I was just a few wins away from gold 3. After getting them, I was finally 1 game away from mastering Belle. It was against Leon, Angelo and Colt. We had a good start. Kian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 got an early kill on the Colt, and then we team wiped them quickly after. Second round was slightly different. My Angelo died early, but I managed to kill the Colt, making it a 2v2. After that, the Leon went for a play which was extremely dumb, but my Colt somehow managed to lose it. I tried to win the 1v2, but I couldn't do it. In the second round, the Leon supered on my Colt again, but this time they at least traded. Then I hit my super on the Colt, which allowed my Angelo to easily get him. Now all we had to do was just rush Angelo, and after doing so I got gold 3. Now let's move on to the second last brawler, which is Angelo. This push starts here. 220 trophies, power 2 and 250 51 mastery points. I didn't want to experience the power 2, so I instantly upgraded Angelo and went with this build. For the first few games I played on every single mode because I still needed my tokens for mega boxes, and then I decided to stick to one mode, which was knockout, still on the same map. I was flying through ranks while building up my win streak, and when I hit rank 20 I was already on 21 games. I lost it 2 games later, and after a few more wins I already hit the mastery cap. Also during this push I have played with and against quite a few mastery farmers. Allegedly it's bannable, but I don't really see how this game would ban anyone for that. They have been struggling with most of these win traders for more than a year now. Day 2 started off by winning a game in every mode again. Yes, I still needed my tokens. Then I decided to stick to one mode, which was knockout, and this was going smooth. I got to rank 24 in no time, and then the map changed, but luckily it was even better now. Carrying was pretty easy and I got to rank 25 in no time. After that I got myself in a team and we were playing Brawl. We were destroying people and we got to rank 26 with a nice win streak. After that nothing changed. The games were still fairly easy, and after a while we found ourselves just one game away from rank 30. It was pretty interesting. We were dominating the other team but couldn't score no matter what we tried. In the last seconds they nearly scored, but Miracle managed to somehow defend it. In overtime we had a much better comp, and after I passed the ball to my mate it was just over. That was the rank 30 done. Can't lie, I got carried so hard. After that I decided to get my trophies, and then I got back to knockout with randoms. That's when I got to silver 3, but also I could get better at Angelo. I had one game where I got a 1v3 clutch. The enemies were questionable, but I will take it. I played there till I hit the mastery cap at 7136 points. Day 3 was a lot more fun. I played on arguably the dumbest Brawl map, and I was just doing this trick for hours. I'm not even joking, this was the only reason why I played this map. After a bit I got to gold 1, and another few hours later I hit the mastery cap at 13,136 points. Day 4 wasn't as easy though. I started it off by playing on knockout, and first game of the day was already against a Kit Cup. They still somehow managed to lose it, and from this point every second game was against Kit. Anyways, I also got a free win from an old man Germans may know. They were tooting on purpose, no win rate for anyone who would think that. And after that I decided to go on gem grab because playing against Kit was extremely boring. It isn't maybe the best Angelo map, but there is one thing that changed it: vision gear. Tagging someone once gave me a lot of information and made this not that bad to play. And because of that I even managed to get to 1k trophies again, this time not heavily carried. After that I went back to knockout as it was easier to play with randoms, and I got to gold 2, and not long after that I got to mastery cap at 19,136 points. Day 5 started off with a map swap to 4 levels, which was pretty good. Angelo is really good here and I was able to carry my randoms. After a long grind I got one game away from gold 3. It was against Mr. P, Meg and Leon. We had a great start. We pushed the enemy team to the spawn and Baron got the first kill, but Leon got the trade. Then my Draco straight lined their Mr. P and Leon couldn't do much into us. Second round was a lot different. This time we got pushed into our spawn and both teams found a kill. After that my Draco straight lined Mr. P and left Meg in a 1v2, which wasn't winnable, and that's how I mastered Angelo. Finally, let's move on to the last brawler, Piper. She's currently at 875 trophies and 19,347 points. I decided to play her in gem grab, and this was a carry fest. If I didn't get star player, games were just not winnable. Also I had this guy shooting me from the start of the game. I have no idea what I did to bro, but my name is maybe what happened. But I wasn't gonna let that affect me, and I just kept on playing and popping off. I left Piper as the last brawler, and there is a reason why. She's really fun to play. I didn't have much time to play on this day, but I still got to 23,871 points. On day 2 I didn't get lucky with maps and decided to play on Minecart Madness. The map is terrible and so are people playing it, but I forced myself to play it. After about an hour of torturing myself, I got to one game away from gold 3, which was extremely intense. We were up against Byron, Jesse and Crow. We didn't have a good start. We lost control early on and we were struggling to move out of the spawn. Luckily, I started to pop off and got an insane team wipe. I went for the gems, but Jesse used the hypercharge and got me. After that, we were tied up, but my team started throwing. I then got a kill, but enemies still got the countdown, but Leon managed to reset. Then I picked up this clean kill and we got all the control we needed. After getting enough gems, we went back to spawn and won the game. My tick didn't take any part, but I finally mastered Piper. Now let's claim all of the titles, and I know it's a bit shameless, but I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. This beat took me 28 days of gameplay in total. Also, if you would like to see Master Janet at Power 1, click this video to watch that. See ya in the next one.